Hello, friends. Welcome to Bell Soccer. So the Black Stars are already in camp. I'm sure you've seen it on my platform. But there's a news. Thomas Partey is not in the team. The communication director of the Football Association has come out to explain the reason why, especially Thomas Partey is not in the team because of the drama around it. We are going to discuss Thomas Partey's absence and other matters as far as the Black Stars is concerned. Gladly, I'm here with my good friend Gijo, who has always been on this platform. So, Gijo, Charlie, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's go straight into it. We'll talk about Thomas Partey. Obviously, a couple of players are not in the squad because of injury. But the FA communication director came out to explain that for some of the players, they were aware of it. But for Thomas' own, we say they know that the player is injured. But it be like, the story be some way.
We knew about Joseph Pinto, say when we in the game. We knew about Osman Ibrahim, say when we in the game. We knew about Kingsley Schindler. But for Thomas, once he finished the Southampton game, we were fine. Jordan, same. Ishahaku, same. Kudus, same. Iñaki, same. Salisu, same. Wolacott, same. And Antoine Semenyo, all the players, you monitor them until they finish their matches. Then, on, I think, late Sunday, the medical team received a correspondence from Arsenal, said, Thomas is feeling unwell. So we needed to take it to the next level by demanding proof of Yarikoa or Yarino. So they sent an email and supported it with proof. It was further interrogated. Dr. Pombo escalated the issue. It went to the management level. The president came in. Alex Asante came in. We continued our back and forth with the club. Then it got to a point where we decided, say, Emrano, MIN, who can say a very requested a player, and Emrano fan home match for further assessment with our medical team. The trigger, Samrano. The trigger, down. It is a condition between the player and the FA. Then the club sent back an email informing us that the player feels uncomfortable to travel for that number of hours just for assessment. We should rethink our decision. It was a serious issue that was discussed by the medical team, Pambunin and Pamfua, and then we brought in the technical team. Eventually, the technical team felt we needed to leave him out. If he is medically unfit, now for Sudan, now him say, oh, more. Sebi. Imperial, Obibeka say,
Is it Arsenal trying to prevent us from having Partey, or it be just a matter of Partey himself not ready to come and play?
I think it's the two, because even though Arsenal wants Partey to stay at the club so that he can be fit for the upcoming games, I think Arsenal this season want to go for the Premier League title. So basically, some crucial players need to be abstained from international duty so that they can get some momentum going to the season. That being said, Partey also has a decision to make here. Even though Arsenal wants him to be at the club and trying to find any excuse they would give the Ghana FA, Partey also has a role to play and also has that final say as in deciding to come and help the Black Stars, because it's a crucial AFCON qualifier. And looking at the way the Black Stars have performed so far in the qualifiers, you would like to say that as the captain of the team, you have to be here so that you rewrite all the wrongs that were done in the two previous games. So basically, Partey also has a role to play, and I think that he hasn't done well here in this situation to stand firm on his decision on representing the country.
Others will also say that other players have taken such decisions and it hasn't ended quite well for them in the national team. So it's easy for Partey to say, if Arsenal doesn't want me to come, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, obviously there are situations where even I once said that even with what happened in the Angola game, for example, Jerome Opoku came to the Black Stars just within training sessions on the
he got
Barbara
injured.
Stadium pitch. He got injured. So these are some of the things that you would like to prevent as a player. But that doesn't also allow you to not be committed to the cause for playing for a national team. You have to be committed. And despite the situations with other players, not and like having a bad end to their careers, choosing the
Yeah,
Black
choosing to
Star
play for the national team.
over their club side, it doesn't happen all the time. I always say that players like Sadio Mane will always give their best for their national team, but at the same time, when they go to their club side,
they would also
they'll deliver. I'll just say that it's just sad that the Ghana FA are not putting in certain measures to improve some of these conditions that the players will have when they come and represent their national team.
I want to ask you this. You see, the club sides will always do everything possible to prevent the players from coming. As a national team, you also have to put yourself in a situation. You can't tell a Brazilian player that you won't let him go and play for his club side because of the pedigree of the Brazilian national team. You can't tell the Three Lions, you can't tell Jude Bellingham that you won't let him go and play. No matter, even if you have a Champions League finals, you can't tell him that you won't let him go and play for the Three Lions. So it means that the Three Lions themselves command certain respect. Do you think it's also on the country that we are also not putting ourselves in a certain level that the clubs cannot look into the eyes of our national team and say, your best player like Partey, we're not going to make it come?
It depends on how well we have positioned. You are positioned in terms of even African rankings. I don't know where Ghana is at the moment. We are not even part of the top 10, and it's sad. Yeah. Even when it comes to world rankings at the moment, we are not
well positioned.
Yes, and these are some of the things that I think we have to work on. But that also being said, these are the players that will make us get there in terms of how we play.
You need big players to help you win big games.
So we need. So imagine we go into this game without our, let me say, our best player.
Yeah. Our biggest player.
Yeah, our biggest player.
Based on this recent performance.
Yeah. So it's and also the position he plays is crucial. He's a midfielder, and that is where Ghana has found it very difficult to be able to grasp and dominate and utilize a lot in this. It's very crucial for us to have such a player in the team. But that being said, if the Black Stars can do something to change the narrative in the near future, it's always about the performances we give on the pitch. Without Thomas Partey, we should just move on and win matches. When we continue to win matches and we win major tournaments, we win major trophies, the whole world will then know that Ghana has, even though we have been the beacon for some time and we've been the household name, we are losing that aura, and gradually we are becoming a country that does not have that pool and anymore on the African continent.
I want to ask you this. Partey is one of them players in the national team that people have questioned sometimes his commitment and how he plays for Ghana. Does this in a way, because initially we thought he was injured. Okay, Partey injured, normal. Yeah. Now, reports in England says that he's not really injured. And now the FA comes, like, if you listen to the communications director explanation, it's more like there was a battle between Arsenal and Ghana to get Partey to come. That means the player no really hurt. Yeah. So, does it? And he's also one of the players that people feel like he hasn't really given a lot for the national team. Does this in any way kind of confirm or puts like a tag on Partey that he's not really committed to the national team? Does it affect his legacy as a Black Stars player in any way?
It does affect him. I think in general you could say that Partey has not lived up to expectations we all wanted him to live up to. In not just with the Black Stars, with football in general. Sometimes I watch him for us, and though he's crucial, I think the Partey we saw at Atletico Madrid and the potentials we saw is not what we are seeing today. Because basically at Atletico Madrid, he was, I think, one of the best players on the African continent when it comes to midfield qualities. He was that guy, and even he added a lot in terms of goal scoring abilities, long range, and he had it all. And I won't say it was a blessing in disguise, but his move to Arsenal changed everything. The injuries kept coming here and there, and I think not being reliable for the Black Stars is because of the fact that he has not been able to sustain that consistency at the club level. So it makes it very difficult. So let's just put it this way: if Partey should have been regular for Arsenal for some time, they wouldn't even be preventing him to. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They wouldn't be preventing him to come and play for the Black Stars because he has played. But the whole of last season, Partey missed a chunk of it, and these are some of the things Arsenal want to prevent. You get me? So I would say that he hasn't lived up to expectations. The injuries kept coming, and these are some of the reasons why we are here today. Because if Partey should have played a chunk of last season, and people, Arsenal fans were like, if Partey should have been fit, we would have won the Premier League. So imagine Arsenal won the Premier League last season. Partey was fit, he was fine here and there. Nobody will prevent Partey to come and play for the Black Stars when he's being called upon. So these are some of the things I'm saying, that it depends on the player, and I think him being unavailable doesn't make him unreliable. Yeah,
I think I side with you, because Arsenal, they want to protect their interest. Partey is fragile. This guy go to the national team, he can come back with an injury. So let's do any gimmick to prevent him from coming to play for you. But it's just painful, because just period where we really needed him, because these two African qualifiers, imagine he doesn't come, we play and we fail to qualify.
One, and maybe going forward, I think we should move on in terms of captaincy as well.
I think because right now it's Samuel, because Andrea, it looks like Otuado no go really bring him back. It's possible that the next AFCON qualifier,
this is also it's putting the Black Stars in a different trajectory now, where we have to do a transition where that will matter not just next year or next 2 years, but a transition that will matter for the future. Because I think we now have a core of the team who is not based on, I would say, it's not based on experience. A core that is not based on how long
you have been with the team.
We have a core now that is youthful, that is coming out with potentials here and there. So we can now, for example, you don't qualify for AFCON, fine. Let's look at these players. Which players are? Let's go trade away of the old brothers, the likes of. I think we've already moved on from Andrew.
I think we've moved on.
So we should move on from Jordan. We should move on from Thomas Partey. We should move on from. I think move on from Euphoria as well. Move on from some of these old players. So I think Salisu is very young. Jiku is the only
can be around
because he needs to show the likes of Abdul Mumin and Jerome Opoku here and there. With that midfield, it's just that you've not seen. You see, sometimes the leadership in the old players to be able to transition these players, that is what we are missing now. You see, we should have had these players in terms of Thomas Partey, the likes of Daniel Amate, to groom the young defenders that will be coming. Thomas Partey to groom the young midfielders that will be coming. And the front line, the likes of Jordan Ayew and Andrea, you should groom the young ones that will be coming. But they have not been available and they have not been consistent enough so that we could see that transition go through. That is sad. But obviously, we still need to move on. So I think it's high time we make that decision and move on.
This Partey issue also sends a call to Otuado to at least decide on the captaincy thing, because it looks like in the next 2-3 years, Partey no go there, Jordan no go there, Richard Ofori no there. Decide on your captains and move on.
Yeah, but you can't decide now because you see, Ghana football is a funny situation. You could even be here and you understand, and a different coach will come and you call Andrea, so you can't just make that decision. It's not on the manager, because I think the coach. I think it's a broad decision. It goes even way to the top in terms of GFA and everything, because there are people who even the Black Star Management Committee will have to sit down on some of these
look at these players.
In terms of captaincy, but I don't think captaincy is the major problem with this team. I think we need to look at how to get a result. When we are winning, some of these decisions will be easy to make because the team is winning, everybody's happy, and you understand. But imagine you lose 2 matches on a row and you have not qualified for the AFCON and you are changing captain. Everybody will start shouting because the person you are moving out of the team could play a crucial part, some may say, because they will argue their way out and say that if Andrew was here, we wouldn't have been losing. These are some of the situations you need to cover up. win the matches, get the points on the board, everybody being happy. Some of these decisions will be easier to make.
It's true, right. So 23 players are in camp. Francis Abu and Jonas Ajite are expected to arrive tomorrow. That's Wednesday. But so far, 23 players are there, including Ashimeru. I think I'm happy that Ashimeru is back. He's in the team because now he should be the go-to midfielder in the squad. And maybe the first time Ghanaians will have a midfield system where it will be dependent on how he would help the team. I think.
But at the same time negative because it might put a lot of pressure on him and he might not perform. Or it might help him also take a lot of responsibilities without you be expensive.
I think this is that I believe this is the best time for him to take responsibility in the midfield. Because so far the midfielders that they did he should be the most experienced and the most reliable one that's left. So let's see how the team goes. The Black Stars trained today. They did gym work. They are expected to also train in the evening at the Accra Sports Stadium. Hopefully on Wednesday there will be the pre-match press conference where we'll get to talk to the coaches and also the last training session before the match day proper. Thank you, Gijo, for joining us. My name is Delale Frank. Until meet again. Bye-bye for now.